Welcome to Unchained here on Pahrump News. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
I'm Tiffany Whitecloud.
So glad that you could join us tonight. Some of the top news stories. Well, a new town ordinance has been enacted aiming at banning Pahrump's homeless population from camping on public property or right-of-ways. Commissioner Ian Bain championed the item, stating that he copied the proposed ordinance from Clark County Code. He said this during the May 6th Board of County Commissioners meeting. Pahrump Town Ordinance number 73 was enacted under Pahrump Bill 2025-01, which amended Pahrump Town Code by adding Chapter 25 titled Camping, Lodging, and Similar Activities. Bain believes that this will clean up camps, tents, and garbage. This also gives arrest power to law enforcement in cases which the subjects may not comply to leave the area. Some residents disagree that this will clean up the streets. Instead, they suggest that getting the individuals the help that they need may be more effective, stating that it may cost the county more money by housing the individuals in detention. Commissioner John Koenig agreed, stating that the homelessness issue will most likely continue. The item passed the board by a vote of 5-0.
A family lost their home this week as a result of a structure fire off of Mance Road. All occupants safely extricated the home. However, some animals were tragically killed. At the time, 2 cats and 3 dogs were unaccounted for. Nye County Sheriff's Office, Nevada Highway Patrol, and NCSO auxiliary units responded for traffic control. Valley Electric was dispatched to the scene. An owner of the property reports that they were able to locate 1 dog and 1 cat. We will be speaking with that homeowner, Julie Wilson, who is joining us later in the show to find out all the details and how you can help.
Well, fire crews were busy once again over the weekend on Mother's Day with a multi-vehicle fire on Dyer Street. Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies, Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue, and auxiliary units were dispatched for a fully involved vehicle fire on Sunday afternoon on Pahrump's west side. Several other vehicles on the property quickly ignited, and there was immediate exposure to the home. All occupants were accounted for. They say approximately 15 to 20 vehicles were involved.
A female was attacked by a dog over the weekend on Comanche Drive. A dog described as a pit bull attacked the woman. Pahrump News has learned that it was not her dog. She reportedly suffered a deep laceration to her bicep, 4 to 5 inches long and 2 inches deep, as well as lacerations to both her hands. The original reported party reportedly said her arm was torn off. Officers controlled the bleeding until medics arrived. That patient was transported via Pahrump Valley Fire Rescue to Mercy Air Base 21 and subsequently flown to Las Vegas Trauma Center. The dog was taken by animal control. We have learned that the patient has been released from the hospital.
And that's some good news, that she was released and hopefully is doing well. We got to say that we have some special guests, like we just talked about right there on the show. Julia Wilson and her son, Johnny. You're going to get a kick out of Johnny. He's such a lively little guy and 7 years old.
Yes.
And just so much fun. But when we return, we'll have Julia Wilson and her son, Johnny, here on the show. So we have our special guest, Jonathan Alexander Wilson, and his mom, Julia Wilson. Thanks for coming, guys.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Jonathan has been a joy so far and will upstage this whole entire interview. I'm just letting you know, because this man has charisma. But we're talking to your mom, Julia, today, and I know that you guys have been through so much lately. Tell us what happened on Saturday, I believe it was, right?
Yeah, so it started out like every other Saturday. My middle daughter and I went to Vegas because she has theater in Vegas. And the kids and my husband were home. And we were watching my aunt's house because they were out of town. So my husband took one of our other daughters with him to take care of the animals over there. And before that, he'd hooked up the swamp cooler. And about 3 hours after the swamp cooler was on, he was in the bathroom and he noticed an orange glow through the bathroom window and he yelled fire. And then
You already knew it was a fire right then?
I know what fire looks like. My neighbors have a fire all the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we do fires and burn
Yeah.
like little things. So he told his siblings,
Okay.
because he had 2 older siblings home with him. My 17-year-old and 15-year-old were home. The 15-year-old was doing dishes and the 17-year-old was on video games. And when he yelled fire, she looked out the window and she saw it. And then my 17-year-old helped get him out and her out. And then he went back into the house because he'd forgotten that his younger sister that was with my husband. He ran back in and he did a quick look. It's a fairly small house. He did a quick look and then he remembered, and then he got out of the house, and then they all ran to the neighbor's house.
Well, where was your husband and the other child?
They were at my aunt's house, taking care of the animals at my aunt's house.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
so he remembered that they weren't there.
Right, yeah.
Okay. And then so it started on the outside of the house.
So under the house,
Yeah.
and then it climbed up the outside wall, and then eventually it was a very old mobile home.
And you thought it was possibly because of the new unit that he just put in, right?
Yeah, so we've had the swamp cooler going every year since we lived there. We lived there for 17 years.
Mm-hmm.
We had the swamp cooler going every year. But this year, over the winter, I put, my aunt let me borrow her RV to be a she shed.
Yeah.
So I could do my crafting, because we do the SCA for medieval reenactment.
War.
And so I was going to be making and selling garb and armor.
Wow.
Metal armor for the SCA for people who
Wow.
fight up like knights.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that group. Yes.
Yeah.
They are in Petrick Park on occasion.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't know we had anything out here. We do it
Well,
in Vegas all
they're
the time.
from Vegas and they come out
okay.
here and stay in the park on occasion.
Oh, yeah. That's
yeah.
where we started. That's when I was in high school. That's where we started.
Yeah.
And
So you're very talented. Yeah, because that's a lot to do.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
but it's fun. It's so much fun. But so this year with the RV, we think between the RV and then the swamp cooler, it just drew too much power
Yeah.
and started an electrical fire under the house.
Wow. So it went quickly though, right? I mean,
Yeah,
this was
probably
well
built in the
involved by
70s.
the point that the fire department
Yeah.
arrived.
Well, and they had trouble getting in because the driveway was pretty narrow.
Yeah.
So we had a shared gate with one of the neighbors, and so they took that gate down and used their driveway to get in and through. Because the property, you could see it online, it was a pretty big property. So they drove through to get to the house in the center of the property. And yeah, the house was built in like the 70s, so probably wasn't necessarily up to fire code. It
So was it a stick build or manufactured?
was manufactured.
Okay.
Yeah, and those go very, very quickly, especially the older ones.
So you heard about it how? What? Tell me about you. I mean,
So,
because this must
I
have
was
been
in Vegas.
shocking.
Yeah, I was in Vegas, and a friend called me because my husband didn't know at the time yet either, and neither did the neighbors. So my friend called me because he happened to be passing, or his brother passed the house, and he called me. He said, "Hey, my brother saw a house on fire near where you live. Are you guys okay?" And I was like, "I'm in Vegas, so let me call." So I called my oldest son because I knew that he'd be home, and he said, "Yeah, that's the house," and I got Johnny and Jackie out, but I couldn't get the animals out.
Yeah.
And I told him it's okay. If they got out, then we'll find them.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Because animals often will run from the
Right.
scene.
yeah, and we left immediately from Vegas and drove home, and then our other neighbor, he called my husband, and no, she called my husband. He was running over to make sure that all the kids got out, and then my son yelled at him that all the kids got out, so he came back, and
It's so difficult. I mean, there's so much emotions tied
Yeah.
to a structure fire. I can't even imagine you even coming over the hill. You probably even
Yeah,
saw the
well,
smoke coming over the hill.
the smoke
right?
was gray by the time we'd come
Yes.
over.
Yeah.
When our neighbor Jen called my husband, he left immediately from my aunt's house, and he didn't know that the kids were out because she didn't know that the kids were out because she hadn't got home yet. So he stopped at the house and then was running towards the house, and he touched the door handle to open the house, and Kurt, the other neighbor, yelled that the kids were out, so he came back away from the house.
Yeah. And you want to keep those doors shut. And
Yeah,
those
he got a
windows
little bit
shut.
of flash burn on his hands,
Yeah.
but not terribly bad.
Yeah. Because once those doors and windows are open, it goes up a lot faster
Right.
too.
Yeah.
So tell me about the animals, because you said that you found a dog, or
So
you
I
had a dog
one dog
with
with
you.
me in Vegas.
Okay.
My standard poodle, she's my service dog. She was in Vegas with me.
Okay.
And then one of the cats ran out of the house as the kids were running out of the house.
Oh.
And he always comes back home at night looking for food because he's our fat boy.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Big boy.
yeah, when I was done talking to the Red Cross, I went back over the house to see if I could find him. And sure enough, I found him, and I bear hugged him until I got across the street
Yeah.
and put him in the car.
Yeah. So the other animals, which ones are lost then?
We
far as-
lost our mini poodle. She was 14. Her name was Gypsum. And then we lost
Gypsy?
our 19 and 18-year-old cats, Mama Kitty and Little Girl.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
so sorry.
That's
so
the rough part.
let's
yeah.
talk a little bit about that house, because I know that Coyote Corner has got together a donation area.
Yeah.
People have been donating there. What do you need? And did you have insurance?
We did not have renter's insurance, unfortunately. I got a hold of the landlord last night. She lives in North Carolina. So she's going to talk to her son, and then they're supposed to call me back today or tomorrow.
So they may have insurance on the property.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure they do. Yeah. But I work for Coyote Corner,
Okay.
and it's always a big family there. So they really try hard to take care of each other,
Yeah.
and they've done amazing. And Jen and Wendy and Sue at the bar, they've all done really great.
Yeah. Quickly, Sue posted
Yeah.
a donation bin
Right.
there. And have
There's-
you been getting some items that you need?
Oh, yeah, we've got so much clothes. The
It filled up
support
our
from,
What?
It filled up our car.
It filled up your car?
yeah,
And
the
I
support
bought
from the
three
community
things.
has been amazing. Like, we've got so much clothes, and anything that we can't fit, or, if we just get too much, then we're going to donate to the First Choice Pregnancy Center, the Nevada Outreach, and anything that can go to like Paws or the other rescues in town.
I know where we go.
Where are you staying now?
So my kids feel like they're having a little vacation because they get to stay with friends for the rest of the school year.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to stay with us. I'm sorry, Pest. Johnny. And then my husband and him and I are staying at my mother-in-law's house.
Okay.
Yeah. It was a little easier because her house is pretty small.
Yeah.
So trying to fit 7 people in a smaller house is
Yeah, because how many brothers and sisters you have?
5.
What's their names?
Jackie, Josie, Julian, Jamie, and Johnny, which is me, and then Julia Wilson and Brian Wilson.
Okay, so
So seven.
so you're married
7
to a
people.
beach boy.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Everybody else is Jay.
Yeah.
Yep, there you go. So what all was lost? Just the home, or was there other stuff?
So there was a little single wide manufactured trailer that we used as storage that was lost, and then there were a couple of vehicles that my husband was working on that was lost, and my son's first car was lost,
Oh, no.
and the RV that was my she shed was lost,
Oh,
and then the house.
and then
so-
all of the things that were inside the she
Yep,
shed that you were
everything
working
that
on.
was in the she
Wow.
shed that I was working on.
The armor.
Yep, the armor that I made for myself
armor.
because I do the fighting too.
I'm going.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh.
After school, we're gonna go, huh?
So as far as right now, what's your immediate needs? Because I know you got a lot of clothes.
Yeah, we got a lot of clothes. We're still going through. We got a lot of
More
toiletries and like main stuff.
Yeah.
Really somewhere that we can afford to rent so that we can like start rebuilding and getting everything
Yeah.
all back together.
Well, you can't replace the animals, and that
Right,
is a
you can't
huge
replace
loss.
that.
And I'm sure you had memorabilia and
Yeah,
special things
we
in the
can't
home,
replace
like
my grandfather's hat. He passed a couple of years ago,
Yeah.
and his ashes and my father-in-law's ashes. We are going to miss those things, but in the long run, it's all just stuff that we had that.
because you got
Yeah.
these guys, and that's
Yep.
really all that matters, really 100%. Because this is a lively guy, and it's
He's
so
a very lucky little
good that-
kid.
yeah, it's so great that he saw it and got everybody out. Right?
Yeah.
You're a
And guess
hero,
what?
right?
Yep.
My
You are.
brother Jamie also is
Yeah.
kind of a hero.
Yeah.
I almost went out the wrong door that had the fire.
Oh no.
He was like, nope, don't go out that door.
Go out the other door. All right. Well, we want to thank Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue, Nye
Yeah.
County Sheriff's Office,
Yeah.
Nevada Highway Patrol, and Nye County Sheriff's Office Auxiliary, and everybody who's donated.
Everybody. It's just
A
It's
lot of people that
amazing and overwhelming, and just there's so many mixed emotions of everything that's been going on.
Yeah.
And we're very, very lucky. My husband and I, we've lived in this town. I've lived here since '89, and he's lived here since the early '90s. And the community really does step it up when it's needed.
Yeah. I think that it's fantastic that everybody's donating. I know one of the things that you really need is some cash to get a
Oh,
place
they're
to
already
rent,
giving us.
so that you can get a down payment or first and last on a place to rent, right? And
Right, yeah. So we are trying to work out something for donating either directly to my bank account, which I have a Zelle, and we're going to possibly try setting up a GoFundMe too.
yeah, Zelle is the easiest, fastest way to get
Yeah.
this done 100%. So give everybody your Zelle information.
It's just my cell phone number, which is 775-513-6348, and it's under Julia Wilson.
And then I'm sure that's the same number if you need to call her to make a different type donation. Also, when the GoFundMe is available, we'll let people know
Yeah.
about that. And I'm so happy that you guys are safe.
Yeah.
And this little guy's safe, and all your brothers and sisters, and your doggy and your kitty you got now. And so you guys are
Kaya
going
and
to
Big
be
Boy.
okay.
Yep, Kaya and Big Boy.
Exactly. Thanks so much for joining and telling
Thank
your
you.
story today.
Thank you.
We really appreciate it. So great to speak to Julia and her son Johnny there. I'm so glad that once again the town is coming together to help this family who needs all the help that they can, of course, and so many devastating structure fires that we have here in town. But the town comes together. You get down there at Coyote Corner off of Kellogg Road if you want to help them out, or you of course can Zelle her or give her a call.
Yes.
We have another Johnny. We had one Johnny here, but we have another one, right?
Yes, we have another Johnny, John Michael Ferrari, who is a local entertainer who has won several awards, and he puts on a few shows a year for our town.
Yeah. When we return, John Michael Ferrari. We are joined with John Michael Ferrari. How are you doing today?
I'm doing wonderfully.
Yeah?
Wonderfully good.
Yeah.
How's that? Beautiful day out there today?
Yeah. Don't you have a song about beautiful girl, right?
One? Only one?
Baby, you're one heck of a girl.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So tell everybody what you do.
I sing
Yeah.
and play guitar and little piano. It's not it's little tiny. I mean, little tiny piano.
This is a tiny piano. It's like this big.
Yeah, and very fortunate. We have songs on the radio. We get played all over the world, and we do a lot of traveling. We go to Nashville a lot. We actually going on a tour, leaving in 2 weeks, up to Alaska, and some other places. Pepper has all the information on that. I wish I had it in my memory, but I don't.
Yeah. You've won quite a few awards, though, too.
Very fortunate, yes. I'm just so honored to be in the category with so many talented people. You know, we go to Nashville. We're going to Atlanta in September, August, and I've been nominated for Best Singer of the Year and Songwriter.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we're lucky enough to have you here in our town of Pahrump, which we get to see you perform quite often. I believe you're going to be performing at Miss Senior Golden Years coming up in June, right?
I don't know. I did that for the past 2 years.
Yes.
I think that's all they can take of me.
Oh, no.
No, it was an honor to be there. So many wonderful people. And we try to perform every few months, a few times a year in Pahrump, so all of our friends can come and sing and share the stage, like Pearl and you guys. Remember last time we did it? We get a lot of the community involved, and we have rehearsal, and we learn all these different songs. Last time it was disco night, I think. And I don't know what the theme is going to be next time, but we try to do that a few times a year.
Yeah. Tell everybody who Pepper is.
Pepper J is my leader.
She's over there.
We've been together for 30 years, over 35 years.
Yeah.
And we met at a place called Highland Springs, right outside of Palm Springs. And I was performing in the lounge right next to the main showroom. And she came in and I sang to her, sang Lady in Red.
Ooh.
And she said, you know, you're really good, but I could make you better. And I
She's
said,
like selling
"Yeah."
him.
And she did. She took my career from, here and brought it way up. And I have what I have today because of her. And I'm very thankful.
Yeah.
And yours is an inspiring story, which I would like you to share with our community. Can you let everybody know like how old you are and when you made your when you first got your award for one of your
Well, it's surprising.
songs?
I wanted the success that I'm having now, I wanted when I was 19 or even 20. By the time I was 40, I thought, I mean, you're getting too old, but not really, because I'm 77 years old.
He's looking at Pepper. Sometimes I do that too. But everybody in this town, a lot of people who are older in this town really even have just a second wind, a second life. You know, after they have raised their kids and had their career, they start on new ventures all the time. It's very inspiring.
Well, she came to me one day, and we were living in LA, and I was in my 60s, and she said, you should get back to songwriting and singing. And I was done with touring, because I've done a lot of touring across the country and everything, and I just didn't want to do that again. But she said, but do your own writing, your own songs. And I did. I made we put together about 10 songs, I think, that I'd written. And she said, now we're going to Nashville, and we're going to record the songs. Not knowing what would happen, we went to Nashville. We found a really great studio, Larry Beard Studio Group, and they helped us with the arrangements and with all the professional musicians. And we recorded our songs, and then we thought, well, we have the songs, now what do we do with it? And so she contacted a radio promoter, what do they call them? Pluggers. And this is when COVID hit, and all the major acts pulled all the material off the air. Nobody's putting out anything. And our plugger said, this is a good time. So, because you're an unknown, so they were looking for new artists. So we hit it the right time.
Yeah.
We put our song up there, and we were so excited because I think it was 198 on the national chart, national music chart. We were excited.
Yeah.
I mean, just to have, I was way down to 200. Taylor Swift was up there. Ed Sheeran was #1, and all the other people. But just to be on that chart with all these wonderful people. And week after week, we started watching that and started going up. And then I started passing people. This is unbelievable. We finally ended up at #2.
Yeah. It's amazing just watching your career. I've loved so many of your songs. What is your favorite?
Favorite song? It's like kids. Some days you like one kid better than the other.
All the moms are laughing right now. We do not. We love all of our kids the same.
Yes, all of them.
All the time.
And that's the same thing with songs. The latest song you write is usually your favorite, but I do have favorite ones I wrote. That was called "So Beautiful." That's one of our first song that hit the charts.
See, that's what I was alluding to.
Yeah, that was has special meaning for me, and that's I love that song.
It's fantastic. Are you signed yet?
Well, here's the interesting thing. Today, as an independent artist, you have so much freedom to make your own choices and decisions of what you want to do with your career. But it's all up to you. When you sign with a record label, you give away any control. I mean, all the control, it's all gone. You don't have any control. The record company, since they're putting out all the money, they make the decisions. For instance, on our first CD, if you notice, there's a goat on the cover. So, they would never allow that. If you were with a record label, and the way that came about is, Pepper. We live on a ranch, and Pepper came to me. She said, I need for you to get showered and cleaned up and take a photograph so we can put it on the CD. And I said, can't we find something else to just put on there? And she said, well, should I put the goat on there? I said, yeah, I think that's a good idea.
I love that he didn't want to get showered and cleaned up for the record label. It's like, you know what, we'll just do something else.
Well, you live on the ranch, you work all day.
Yeah, exactly, 100%.
So, and if you look at the picture, it looks like the goat is smiling.
The goat, just the record itself is iconic just because of that goat.
Yeah.
It really makes you remember it.
Yeah,
it really
people,
does.
yeah.
It's fantastic. You know, coming from the music past that I come from, with all the independent records that I grew up with, and we, you know, put out, you know, and you know, my ex-husband produced and stuff like that. My son does a lot of independent music, and labels contact him to put out so many records from whatever album that they're recording, but he doesn't sign with anybody, but they do deals per label so that he doesn't have to. So it is truly something to get your music out there.
You know, there's advantages of being an independent artist, and there's advantages of being with a studio. The independent artist, you make your own decisions, you're in charge of your own career, and it costs. Your money, you have to put the money out there for, you know, for advertising and everything. But we've done very well because we've talked it over, and we thought if anybody offers us anything like that, we probably at this point wouldn't take it.
Well, there's not big money in it, but it's about putting out your own art.
Yeah.
So that's a huge deal.
And actually, Pepper is working in conjunction with some other people for a big change in what we're doing with our music. You know, she's always got something going. You know, every day she says, "Okay, this is what we got for today." You know, like today I found out something. I'm going to some award show and I had no idea. I thought, you know,
You found out he was coming here today.
yeah. So yeah, you're doing this, you're doing that. And I said, "Really, I'm doing that." And we're going where? You know, Australia? What?
I need a Pepper in my life.
She takes care of everything, you know, because the first thing in the morning, she gets early in the morning, feeds the animals, and then she's on the computer doing all the stuff, you know, contacting people all over the world, making contacts.
She's a heck of a promoter.
Yeah, promoting things. She can do it over the phone or email, and it's amazing the things that she can do.
She's one heck of a girl.
She's one heck of a girl.
She's one heck of a girl. All right, how can people get your music, and where can they see you next locally?
Well, if you want to check me out, you can go to johnmichaelferrari.com, and as soon as the page opens up, there's everything of my upcoming performances, where we're going to go on tour. We're going a lot of places in the next 6 months. Amsterdam and what is it?
Everyone.
Budapest. And,
Everyone. Okay.
All kinds of places.
We had like a sound effect to Budapest. That was great.
Yeah, that was something.
That's a Budapest. When you say Budapest, the music just goes off. It's so fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, thanks for joining us today, John. We had such a great time with you.
Thank you
and,
so much.
And good luck in the future. And I know you'll keep us posted. Pepper's always great at keeping us posted. So thank you so much for everything you do.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for everything Pepper does.
Yes.
So great to speak to John Michael Ferrari. You know, I used to have my show at their studio over there at Water Rock Ranch. Yeah. And we got Pepper J here too.
Yes, Pepper J is always fun.
Yes, she is so much fun. And you know what's even fun is we finally got back our Save a Pet segment, and we missed it for so long. But I got to tell you, it was so much fun because we're at Nye County Animal Shelter, and they have a deal going on right now. So, you know, just in case your kids want a new dog, they're like $20 right now. So it's only for a couple days.
Not my kids.
But we're going to show you today's Save a Pet.
So my name is Christy Sigmund. I'm the manager here of Nye County Animal Services. I am joined today by Mochi. Mochi is an 8 or 9-year-old pit bull mix. She is an absolute sweetheart. She was picked up as a stray running at large. And since she's been here, we have learned from her that she is good with other dogs. She is good with cats. She loves people. She is just looking for a home to stay for the last few years of her life. She's in her golden years and just wants some love. So she is a very, very good girl. Huh, Mochi? Oh, yeah. So currently, we are still participating in the Bissell Empty the Shelter event. Our adoption fees are $20 through the 15th of this month, so just 3 more days left. So Mochi is $20 for adoption. All of our adoptable animals are spayed and neutered. They're up to date on all their vaccines, including their rabies, their microchipped. So you are getting a fully vetted, healthy animal for just $20 this week. And we are located at the Nye County Animal Shelter, which is 1580 East Seary Lane. We're right across the street from the assessor and the treasurer's office. We are open Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. and we are open on Sunday by appointment. So if Sundays work best for you, give us a call and schedule an appointment to come in and see one of our babies.
I'm so glad to partner with Nye County Animal Shelter for our Save a Pet segment. And Christy is amazing. And she's amazing on camera. She just was right on the ball with that. You know, I can't wait because next week we're going to have Christy on the show here. We're going to find out all the details about what's going on with Nye County Animal Shelter, how you can adopt, and how you can find out about if you find an animal, how you can report it, if you've lost an animal, how you can report it, and just everything that's going on there at the shelter since she took over.
And how not to bury other people's animals.
Yeah, well, that's something that is an issue. Some people, they find deceased animals and then they bury them, and people are looking for their animals.
And then they
so,
can't get closure.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So we'll talk to her about that and so much more. Well, that kind of does it for our show, though, right?
Yeah, but what a cute dog.
I know. Oh, that is so true, right?
Yeah.
You
cute.
should adopt it.
No. No more animals.
Well, somebody out there has got to adopt that dog. And we will have a dog or a cat every week here on Unchained. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
I'm Tiffany Whitecloud.
Good night.